Thank you very much. It's really exciting and inspiring to try to think back over these 2 days. There has been so much exciting going on that it's actually difficult to try to look back over the whole 2 days. So therefore, I'm extra glad that we're filming everything. Over these days, in addition to a lot of focus on national laws and EU, which we were thinking of working on anyway, we have been invited to contribute to the shift to sustainability from every level, from the city of Oslo to the UN. So I think we've got it pretty well covered now. Now we just need to put it into action, and that's going to require a lot of work, and a lot of that has to be done quite quickly, as we heard in the keynote speeches starting this conference. We don't have much time. We should all have been born 50 years earlier, then maybe things would have looked better now, don't you think? This project, the Sustainable Company Project, formally expires on the 31st of December this year, but our work does not. And we will continue this work under the auspices of the research group Companies, Market, Society and the Environment, which you can read about in the back of the conference booklet. And over the next months, in the first half of 2014, we will do the nitty-gritty work of preparing the actual reform proposals in the form of legislative proposals, as if we had been asked by legislators on Nordic national levels and on the EU level to do so. We think it would be easier for lobbyists, policymakers, legislators to understand what we are talking about if they actually see the real text. So we have a lot of exciting workshops and hard discussions ahead of us over the next months to get that into place. And all your contributions over these 2 days have helped a lot for that. We also have a lot of really exciting follow-up. One of them is not an initiative by this project, but it's related to this project, and we will contribute there. That's the purpose of the cooperation project, which is a network or an idea taken up by a small group in Brussels. So there will be an important meeting there in the European Parliament on the 11th of February. And then the Sustainable Companies Project team. It's actually nearly an emotional moment for me to think that these 4 years of fantastic workshops and meetings and conferences together with you is officially over, but luckily it's not really, because we'll continue working together. But the Sustainable Companies Project team has grown and grown and grown. And we have decided that it's time to make this into something more long-lasting than a project team. So, and we have also decided that it's time that the European Corporate Governance Institute gets some competition. So we've thought of various ways of doing that. But what is certain is that we will change our Sustainable Companies Project team into an institute. An institute inspired by the way that it's done by the European Corporate Governance Institute. So we will have a website, we will have members, we will have prizes for best papers, and we will do lots of great work together, and that will be a foundation, a platform for what I am sure is a growing movement of progressive and critical business law scholars. Then, of course, the really difficult question is what to call this baby. There have been some arguments that we should, in favor of continuing with the Sustainable Companies name, but we want to broaden it. We have a new project next year with the working name of Sustainable Market Actors. And we want to signal that we are an alternative to the European Corporate Governance Institute. Although they do a lot of great work, a lot of it is really, really mainstream and narrow. So we want to be an alternative to that. So our working name for this new institute is Critical Corporate Governance Institute, CCGI. And we're open to suggestions, and we have received some already. We're open to more, and if any of you come up with a name that we choose instead, then you'll get a prize. That'll be the first prize from this new institute. As I've already briefly mentioned, there will be a new research project, Sustainable Market Actors. We've applied for funds from the Research Council of Norway. We will be applying for funds from Horizon 2020, the new EU research program. And I was so glad and inspired when I went to a meeting about this new EU framework program for research, because they're finally latched on to the fact that it's important to fund research that is not just about academic research, but they're setting up societal challenges and specifically asking us to provide research that provides recommendation on how to deal with these challenges. So, I mean, and that's what we're all about. So I think we should be able to put together a really good proposal for that as well. But regardless of whether we get funds from the Research Council of Norway, regardless of whether we get funds the first time we try for Horizon 2020, we will in some form or other start up a follow-up research project in September 2014. Thank you so much to all of the speakers, to the fantastic chairs, to the very enthusiastic audience, and to Mona and Elisabeth and Helene and Elin for fantastic administrative help and for timekeeping, which is so important, and to the technicians from ATEA who have, hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, made it possible for us to watch this over and over again. Now, you're all invited to a reception, which is over where we had the lunch in the adjacent building. We can all go there together. And let's stay in touch and keep up the good work. Thank you.